I'm in Green River, Wyoming for the Run with the Horses marathon, half marathon, and 10K, and I just completed the half marathon this morning. As you can see from the timer up there, they're approaching 5 hours from the start, so still a few marathon guys are coming in. One guy here. Way to go, mate. About to finish. So, Green River, Wyoming is about 8,000 people, and this weekend they have a festival on. So as part of the festival, they have the run. And it had about 150 to 200 runners, so about 50 or 60 in each of the events. In terms of my own results, I got third overall, and then first in the men's 30 to 39, and then obviously just the regular participant. And you can see that they put a heck of a lot of care into these, very distinct. The horseshoe and the beautiful horse medal, and then a lovely plaque for your placing. So really nice. And aside from that, so much attention to detail. Even though it's a small race, really careful. So even the race numbers have these non-pins pins. So great connection. Yeah. Go. That's mine. Yeah. Come here. Okay, one of the ladies here, organizers.
Sorry,
Thank you. You're good. Okay, so she just handed me my time, 1 hour 53.1. Third place overall. Oh, I was second actually. Oh, maybe I got the wrong medal. I'm not sure. Anyway, so about the race. Yes, it's a small number, and what do you need to know if you're going to consider coming here? It is a serious incline. So we're already at about, I think, 6,100 feet, and then we went up to over 7,000. So the ascent you go on is about 400 meters or 1,200 feet, and then you come right back down. So it's an out and back. So it is a serious elevation, and then or altitude, and then also hill work. So both a really tough course. Now, would I recommend doing this? Well, if you like hills, sure. This is not one for time, but it is a lovely small town event which I would come back to and enjoy. Seriously, do some hill work before you come here though, otherwise you're going to feel it. And wear some chafe, balm, or whatever it may be, because you will feel it. There'll be some chafing on this one. Okay guys, give me your comments, feedback, what else you want to know about the race, these small town races, what the merits of them. I'll go and I'll see if I can get a chat with the race organizer as well to talk a little bit about it. Cheers. Woo! Excellent, man. People still coming in after 5 hours. That's a long time. I got to admire the people who stick in there that long, man. Okay.
So my husband and I had a running club. We got it dumped on us, and so we had it for like 30 years, and we put small races on. And when they decided to try a marathon to bring more people in, they called us to come help because the lady whose idea it was ended up with cancer and went back to Virginia for treatment. So we ended up doing it, just the two of us, and then we kept turning more stuff over to the chamber because we said, we want to get out of this. We've been doing it for 30 years, so we still help.
Yeah. Okay, right, yes, I'm at the Run with the Horses Marathon in Green River, Wyoming, and we're talking with Terry Pawleska, which I think is a Polish name, is that correct?
It's a Polish name, but the bloodline is German.
Oh, I see.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about what makes the event distinct and why people should come to Green River?
Because there's more stuff to do than just the run. They have stuff they've created, Wyoming arts and crafts, things that were made in Wyoming. They have food vendors. They have the shrimp boil the night before. They have the artists on the green, which is local artists. They compete to see who gets their sculpture bronzed, and that's done by voting from the people that go in and look at it. And a 24-hour marathon, they have it time to clean to finish it within the 24 hours. They come back and they work, and they go home and take a nap, come back and work. And there's a splash park here, the river. You could float the river if you wanted to.
Well, you have about 150 to 200 entries is from memory. Would you like that to grow, or you like it to be more of a family community event?
I'm always ready for growth. You know, the more people, the more you get to meet people, and it grows. I think we started with probably about 30 the first year, and so you know it's gone a lot, and usually it goes by word of mouth. So.
And what other? You said you're somewhat handing this over to the chamber, but
I thought I was, but I'm still down here. I kind of answer all the questions. I think they put me in as race director this year because the other gal didn't do it this year, and I just kind of make sure it runs smoothly. I don't want anybody to fall when they come across the finish line, you know, from being heat exhaustion and I just keep the awards going so they don't have to stay, because a lot of people catch a plane in Salt Lake. They got to leave right away. They can't stay for awards ceremony. Sure. So we do it that way. And
well, it runs smoothly, and I must admit that I respect that, because runners can be a little bit high maintenance. Yes. And make a lot of complaints. And yes. If you read the website, there's something about, you make it clear, this is not all on sealed road. So no whining. People will whine. I'm going, look, this is a rugged mountain run, basically, although I'm not sure what you'd call this, almost high plateau. What do you call it?
It's a mountain, basically. White Mountain is the name of the mountain that you're climbing. It's what they used to call, I think, a Horse Thief's Canyon or Horse Canyon or Mormon Canyon. It has several names. Yes. And, I mean, in the wintertime, the kids go sledding down it. We had Boy Scouts, and they went sledding down it. So it is a steep mountain, and but it's fairly safe, as if you were running in town, you got cars and dogs and everything else. This way the runners are pretty well protected.
Well, one good thing about the town is that aside from the highway up there, it seems relatively peaceful and quiet, so there wasn't much traffic to deal with.
Yeah, unless you get runners driving up there observing. But yeah, we try to keep them down. We let it know that this is what's going on. Please don't stir up the dust.
And what recommendations do you have for other people who want to start races like this or come in? Because like I said, I imagine there's a lot of trial and error that goes into building a race. I liked even the fact that you had the numbers not pinned, but what are these things called? These little buttons? Plastic buttons that are less maybe invasive to your clothing.
One of the runners went to another race and they had them, and he's on the council, and he said, "These are really cool." I said, "We don't have any money." He says, "I'll get it." So he went to the city and they purchased 500 of them, so they got enough for several races.
Okay, Terry, thanks for hosting us here in Wyoming. It's great to be here.
I'm glad that you came and enjoyed the run. That's the main thing I'm concerned about, is did you have fun?
Yeah, it was.
It
was a tough one. I gotta say, yeah, do your hill training, and ideally maybe even some altitude training before you come here, because it's serious.
From a low place, yeah. We have had people from Florida, and even walking it about wipes them out. So.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, we used to go up over the railroad bridge, and then we had a lady who got there and stopped and stood there for 15 minutes.
Oh, just catching her breath?
No, she was afraid to go over it.
Oh.
So she finally pushed herself over, and then they rebuilt it, and we thought, well, let's just alter the route. So that's why we did that. So we've altered the routes over the years, and if somebody's planning this, my suggestion is go help with the race.
Help with another race.
Yes, and see, because I've had several people start races that they come and watch me do it. I teach them how to do the times. I teach them what they need to do, and coach them along with the things that they don't think about. Because I've been doing it for 30 years. I started out as a spectator because my husband is a marathoner, and
yes.
So finally I started running the shorter races, and then I would stop and help the timers because I was bored. Nothing to do until my husband came in, so that's how I learned.
Yeah, and I think the website is just runwiththehorses.com, but I'll put a link on the YouTube video. So we'll leave it there, Terry. Beautiful. Excellent. But basically, I'm not sure how much of an angle you can see here, but we're going uphill, which is pretty much the entirety of the race. Then you go downhill most of the way back, right? And after about 3 kilometers, you leave the sealed road. So just up here a little ways, you'll see you leave the sealed road and you go to just this kind of gravelly mix, which is like what I grew up with in New Zealand. Actually, it's more the rural style where there's not a lot of traffic, and so instead of traffic, you just go for you know, when there's not enough traffic to justify a sealed road, you just go for the okay, I'm gonna give this guy a little bit of room here. Someone coming down with the old marathon. So he's coming off, man, or it's a lady.
There's a water station.
Yeah.
Just a service stop.
Woo! Great work.
Oh, it's really isolated. Like if someone gets injured or something, or they faint, no one's gonna find you here.
But you can see so here we're making the switch to the gravel road, which is not that bad, to be frank. You know, I ran it in my A6 meta races, so it's fine. It's obviously you can see the rocks there, but beautiful landscapes, right? So that's what you come here for, to enjoy just incredible open country. And apparently there are snakes.
There are snakes.
Yeah, apparently people will often just stop and look at the snakes, because many people who do this don't really care about their times. They're just enjoying the participation. And horses supposedly somewhere. I didn't see any horses, but apparently they are around. And so this gives you a sense for what you have to deal with. And this upward climb, it just keeps on going. It keeps on going for, I'm trying to think, basically all the way to the half marathon turnaround. So about 6.5, 7 miles. And then it more plateaus apparently with the marathon. I only did the half and turned around there, but other people kept on going, of course. So you're feeling it here, here, and you think, oh, it must end, but it just doesn't. It just keeps on going up and up and up. And that's why you get the, I think around 300 or 400, maybe 400 meters up incline, right, at the end of it, about 1,200 feet. So it's a real tough one. You just keep on going and going and going, and you're feeling it. And this is where also your planned time for the race just goes out the door, because you just can't keep that speed going. It's impossible. And of course, when you come back, you really need some training on downhill, because the downhill is so long, and I hate to say it, but a little bit unstable really because of the rocks. You really need some practice on the downhill, which I did not have. So I will be eager to have a crack at this one next year, and yeah, have a go at the downhill with a bit more preparation, a bit of preparation. So as I said, this uphill just keeps on going, and maybe I'll let it go here, because this video will become a bit monotonous. We'll just be seeing more and more uphill for about 20 minutes or something. But yeah, this is what you have to deal with, and keep your legs sharp so that when you come back the other way, you've still got some speed to enjoy the downhill. Okay guys, thanks for watching. We have here water stops at every 2 miles or so, but they're unmanned. So you basically go there and grab a bottle yourself, and if you don't get one, you don't get one. And it's not as convenient as people holding them out for you. I grabbed one and dropped it, so I missed that one. But I still got a couple. I mean, you can't expect everything with a race of 150 people and in a small town. So the fact they had water at every 2 miles was good, in my view.